Well, hello. Welcome again to the Double M Farm. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. We're approaching New Year. This is December the 20, what? 6, 7, 8, 29th. December the 29th, 2020 as we're filming this. And no, this is not part 2 of digging the pond. We'll get on to that in another video. If you've seen part 1, you know what's coming with the pond and Little Red, as you see her right there. But you know, I'm a red-blooded American. I bleed red, white, and blue. So it dawned on me, I have red and I have blue, with a Little Red and Little Blue, the tractor there, the Ford 1210. But I don't have anything white on the farm. So in order to be an American and be red, white, and blue, even though everything seems to be made in China and Japan nowadays, but to be red, white, and blue, I had to come up with something white. Well, I did, and there you have it. Little Red and Little Blue have a new brother. Meet Dumpy. It's the best name I've come up with so far for him. It's a 1993, I believe, Suzuki Carry that I found. Went and got it yesterday. Spent the entire day driving to get it. And I'm very excited. This is going to be the perfect companion for Little Red. It's a good height to be able to load the back of it with the Harbor Freight towable trencher backhoe. Small enough to get anywhere. I looked around. I've been looking at UTVs and golf carts to use here on the farm for years and just couldn't justify the price. They're just too expensive. And I started looking. I've been looking at these mini trucks for years, and they've been real expensive. But I ran across a deal on this one. Guy had it. He sells them. It's got rust on it. It's got some things, mostly cosmetic. Very, very little mechanical things wrong with it, but it's got cosmetic. You can see rust in the bed right there on the corner. Just little things like that. And it doesn't have a title. All I have is a bill of sale, so it's going to be a pain in the butt to title and register it. If you've ever dealt with the highway department in your state, you know how that can be. But that's not what I want it for. I want it to use on the farm. So because of all of those things, I was able to get it at a really good price. A lot cheaper than you would pay for any kind of UTV. My God, those things are anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 to $12,000, and I just wasn't going to do that. So this is what I did, and I'm real pleased with it so far. I've had it a day and a half. Been driving. You can see the wheels. One of the first things we're going to do is put some mud grip, put some UTV aggressive tires on it to help on all these hills here on the farm, and it is a right-hand drive. It is a true Japanese right-hand drive. Has four-wheel drive. You've got two-wheel drive. Pull it up one notch. You've got four-wheel high. Pull it up to here. Well, you can see it right there. This part of the sticker's missing. But you have two-wheel drive, four high, and then you push it on up into neutral and then to four low. And boy, four low, it is low. This thing is really geared low. It's got 131,154 kilometers on it, which I think translates to somewhere around 70,000 miles, maybe. I don't know. Some of you can look that up and figure it out. I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 70,000. Due an oil change at 132,000 kilometers. So, 1,000 kilometers away from an oil change, but I'll go ahead and do the oil change so I know. I've got to go through it. So far, driving it, I checked all the fluid levels before I drove it around, and everything checks out good. If anyone can read Japanese, I don't know. There's all of that. Stopped by a hardware store, and they did have a blank that would work. Had an extra key made for it. But here is the best news yet. Yes, it is a dump. That's why I'm calling her Dumpy. And it not only is a dump, it is the hard dump. There are two kinds of dumps on these mini trucks, these K trucks. There's a soft dump and a hard dump. This is the hard dump. The soft dump is the normal K truck body with a small hydraulic cylinder, and it's made for dumping 500 to 800 pounds, according to all the research I've been able to do. This is the hard dump. The soft dump, they call it soft dump because it's made for dumping cardboard, hay, straw, stuff like that. This one has more reinforcements, a heavier body, has the bigger cylinder. This dump is rated at a ton. It's a 2,000-pound dump. Obviously, I don't expect this little truck in Springs to handle 2,000 pounds, but I have seen people on YouTube dump, I think at Motor Cheese. I know his had the soft dump, and he dumped 1,200 pounds of steel on it one day with no problem. So if the soft dump will handle 1,200 pounds of steel, this thing, I'm hoping I can get 1,500 pounds of gravel on it. I'm going to start out with 1,000 pounds of gravel and see how she handles it. And I am very lucky that even though this doesn't have a title, I can put an orange triangle and a farm use. They make a tag. I've got one ordered. It looks like a license plate, but it's just white with the red letters that say farm use. I can put one of those on it and an orange triangle, and I can drive it on the roads around here locally, just like you drive a tractor or any other farm implement. It basically is a farm implement. So that's what I'll be doing. And I'm very fortunate that the rock quarry is about 5 miles up the road. There's a rock yard. The actual quarry's up in the mountains, but they have a yard about 5 miles up the road. Don't know what the sun's doing to the camera here. So I can drive about 5 miles up the road here, a country road, to get gravel. And as you can see, my road, I desperately need some fresh gravel. Now, it's going to take a lot of trips at, half a ton to 3/4 ton load at a time. But that's a lot cheaper than paying someone else to bring it in at 10, 12 tons at the time. So the little truck will pay for itself just in the amount of money I'll save on paying someone to gravel my road for me. And not to mention the fun I'll have running 5 miles up and down the highway in this thing. You can see it has a locking toolbox. The battery on these things is a lawnmower battery. I want you to look at that. That's amazing. The dump is a electric motor that runs the hydraulic pump. So you want to make sure you keep a good battery on it. Cosmetically, it's in really good shape. Motor's clean. I'm real pleased. For the amount of money I had to invest, and no rust under there, sweating, I need to take care of that. I'm trying to decide what to do with the dump. I'll do some grinding on this. It's mostly surface rust. Here it's going all the way through, but I can reinforce that. I've got a welder. I can get me some metal, grind this out, and reinforce it. And you can find these on wrecked ones. Trying to decide whether I should, wait for some input from you guys. Trying to decide whether I should spray that with a bed liner. Be kind of hard to put a mat in it, and a mat just collects moisture underneath, and with dumping, the mat would slide out unless I fastened it down, and then you'd have the moisture developing under it. So I'm thinking I may grind it down, prime it good, and maybe spray bed liner. Tailgate is bent. It's got a pretty good curve in it right here, so I'll have to straighten that out, and it's also stiff from lack of use, so it doesn't want to release and swing out. There we go. That's the way it's supposed to do, automatically swing out when you lift it. It has arms here that release. When they come down, they rest on this, and that locks the tailgate. So when you raise it, they automatically release to let the tailgate swing out. And obviously, like I said, the tailgate is stiff from lack of use. A little grease and silicone will take care of that with no problem. So that's what we'll do there. And then I'm going to take it off and see if I can straighten the tailgate, get that bend out of it. May have to take it to a body shop and let them straighten it for me. But goes down super easy. Don't even have to have it cranked to go down. It just releases the hydraulic pressure and allows the bed to come down. Now, think about digging the pond here with the Harbor Freight trencher. How much easier it's going to be now to back this up beside Little Red and dig up the dirt and haul it off, dump it wherever I need to dump it on the farm, and we'll be good to go. Let's get in it here. Let's see what we can do with this. Cranks up great. First gear is really low. You don't even have to give it any gas. I'm in two-wheel drive. First gear. And here on the farm, I'll very seldom go past second gear probably. Oh, it does have a axle lock. It does not have the locking diff. You can get these with the locking diff. This particular one did not have it, which I would have liked to have had the locking diff. But for the price, I just couldn't turn it down. And right down here past the cabin, just to let you see how it runs. Alright, I just went to second gear because it was revving up so high. But boy, this is going to save me a lot of steps, even when I'm not using it to haul dirt and gravel. I've got to get my mirrors set. I can't see where I'm backing. I sure don't want to back into anything. Wreck it my first day, that would be good. I've got my big rubber boots on and I can't feel the clutch or the gas pedal. Now, to give you an idea, I am now in four-wheel low, and that's it. That's as fast as it'll go. And the axle, I don't know if you can see it on camera, the axle lock automatically engages when you go to four-wheel low. Now I'm back in two-wheel drive, and I have to disengage the axle manually. It doesn't disengage automatically. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be doing that. I have to do some reading. The manual is in the pocket, so I got to do some reading. See, of course, it's probably in Japanese. I haven't even looked at it. So I'll have to do some research, do some checking on the vacuum lines and things, and see if it's supposed to be that way. I'm sure the sun is probably blinding the camera right now as we head back up the hill. But this is a game changer here on the Double M farm. This is a game changer. Get out here, look at the floorboard on the driver's side. You can see clean as a whistle, a little bit of surface rust there. And in case you're wondering, remove the seat, find a place to put it, it won't get muddy. And there's the motor. There she is. Clean as a whistle. I've already been under there. You can take off the passenger seat. And you can also, I don't know if you notice when you raise up the bed, there's access there. So the motor's easy to get to. This center partition will come out as well. You can hear how good she's idling. You saw how good she ran. So there he is. The Harbor Freight trencher, Little Red, has a big brother, our little brother. This thing is tiny. It is really, really tiny. Oh, gosh. I haven't even measured it. Let's do that. Let's grab the camera here. Let's grab a tape measure here. Let's see. Here's one in the toolbox. See if I can do this. real quick. Not counting the mirrors sticking out. This thing is 53 inches wide. 53 inches wide. The wheelbase is exactly 8 foot. I'll hold it right there. I'll hold it 4 hours on the highway on that. That is a 5x8 Lowe's trailer. And I did have to take, I had boards on the sides. You've seen this trailer before if you've watched my videos. I had to take the 2 boards off the sides and the end because they were sticking out just enough that I was afraid they would get in the way. Then I put these boards here for the front tires to go up on so the front overhang of the vehicle would clear the railing. So that's what we did. And I hauled her 4 hours back home from the guy I bought her from. And she worked great. And with the front wheel up against this rail, the back wheel was sitting here. Obviously, this wouldn't close up, so I just pulled it up against the back of the vehicle and then used some small ratchet straps to hold it in place. And so I know the wheelbase is exactly 8 feet. And with the overhang, I'm figuring the overall vehicle is about 10 feet long. So it's 53 inches wide and 10 feet long, weighs about 1,600 pounds roughly. They usually weigh between 1,500 and 1,700. This one may be closer to 1,700 because of the heavier rock bed that's on it, which I'm sure weighs more than the normal bed. But I'm sure you can tell in my voice, we're very excited. We're glad to have it on the farm. And we look forward to making a lot of interesting videos now with Little Red and Dumpy. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I appreciate you joining us here today on the Double M Farm. And stay tuned. We got a lot of interesting videos coming up with Little Red and Dumpy and work on the spring pond. So have a great day and look forward to talking to you again real soon.